Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's Tobey's Talk Show. This is episode number 42, and today I will be discussing the second round of the NBA playoffs. So, as you can see, these are my predictions for the second round. I basically got all the first round teams correct. I didn't get all the exact games correct and how many games, but I did pretty well. And so, we can look at what I thought would happen for all the second round predictions since all my teams, I guess, were correct. Obviously, when you guys see this video, the conference finals already started, and so you guys already know what's happened, and yeah, I was pretty wrong. So I guess we'll jump into it, like I always do with these other videos with this playoff bracket. I'll talk about the team and change it, and then maybe we'll talk about the conference finals quickly before the video wraps up. So the first round was, or the first game of the second round, or first series, I should say, the second round that I'm talking about is the Lakers and Rockets. So I thought that the Rockets had a good chance. I thought that, when they played small ball against the Lakers, they actually played pretty well against them, but that obviously didn't happen in these playoffs. I thought, the Rockets could even push to 7, maybe even win the series. I did say that. But as we know, the Lakers won this series in 5. What do I attribute to the Rockets not clutching up at all? I would say that James Harden actually had a pretty good series. He was very efficient. He scored at will. He looked for the open man. I think, the loss of Daniel House, I don't really want to go into that because, there's still a lot of question marks around that situation. But if he did do what is rumored that he did, it was very irresponsible of him. That hurt them a lot. He was a 16, 17 point per game scorer for them, and they really needed that. And they lost him. Russell Westbrook played absolutely horrendous in these playoffs, just inefficient, turning the ball over too much, trying to be that Thunder Russell Westbrook at the end of his Thunder career that no one really wanted to see. They wanted to see Russell be more of a point guard, look for the open man, not try to have the ball in his hands. And Russell wasn't always taking the greatest shots. He knows that he's not a great three-point shooter, but for some reason he still takes those threes. When you're a type of player that could easily get to the rim and score at will when you're in the paint, be that player. Don't be someone that you don't have to be, and someone that when you are trying to be a different player, you're not being the best player you can actually be. Obviously, the NBA has become a point where you want to try to shoot threes because it's the most efficient shot in basketball, but it's not his shot. It's not his thing. You see if centers don't shoot threes, they're not going to try to shoot threes unless they could actually have a good working shot like Brook Lopez maybe, but you're not seeing Mitchell Robinson pull up from three because he knows that he can't make them, and that's not his game. I guess also, when Anthony Davis and LeBron James both drop 30 a night, you can't win. How I see it is the Lakers are going to win if their stars are putting up 30 a night, and that's what they did against the Rockets. They were just too small, honestly, not strong enough. Eric Gordon, he put up a fight. PJ Tucker did put up a fight against Anthony Davis, but after that first game, I don't know, Anthony Davis looked a lot better. LeBron kind of scored at will, and a lot of the bench players, especially Rondo stepped up, and they didn't have their centers because the Lakers had to conform to the small ball lineup, and putting centers on the arc isn't good because Dwayne and JaVale get burnt, but they worked fine with it. KCP, Green, Rondo, they're all pretty good defenders. Rondo was great facilitating, and that's why the Lakers won so easily. The next team we're going to talk about is the Clippers and Lakers. So as you guys know, if you guys have been following me for the past month, and even for the past 10 months, I stuck with the fact that I thought the Clippers would win the finals. I said before the summer that if Kawhi came, even without Paul George, they would win the championship. I thought my prediction was going to be right. They were up 3-1. I thought I would win easy 4-1. I thought it'd be perfect. We all know the Nuggets somehow came out of nowhere and beat the Clippers in 7. People could blame Kawhi, especially after that Game 7. He did really choke that series. But if you guys watch all the games, you know that it was definitely the mix of Lou Will, Paul George, and Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers never conformed, never tried a new way to guard Jokic. Jokic dominated that whole series. Obviously, there are a smaller team besides Zubac. Joakim Noah wasn't really playing. And you had sometimes JaMychal Green starting at the 5 or playing at the 5. But you can't do that against Jokic. You need to have a big defensive man guarding him or else he will destroy you. And that's what he did against the Clippers last 3 games. My man was averaging 30, 15, and 5. He was going insane. And also Jamal Murray. Patrick Beverley was honestly horrendous for what he's known to be doing, which is his defense. And, he just didn't step up. Jamal Murray scored at will against Patrick Beverley. Lou Will couldn't hit a 3 to save his life. And Paul George was just absolutely horrendous. He was playoff P, I guess you could say. And I mean, that's really what you could say. Obviously, Kawhi maybe should have had a better game. Well, he should have honestly had a better game in Game 7. But those other 6 games, he was playing top notch. He was trying to put the team on his back. And I guess his back just gave out at the end of Game 7. Montrezl Harrell played all right. Shamet got hurt. It is what it is. But the Clippers definitely, with their depth, they should have beat these Nuggets pretty easily. Obviously, the matchup wasn't in their favor with Jokic again. Like I said, at the 5, if your best player is a center and he's one of the best in the world, and you don't have a great defensive center to guard him, it's hard. But yeah, there's really no excuses. The Clippers absolutely choked this series. They should have won. Jamal Murray and Jokic really took over. Michael Porter Jr. was right when he said spread the ball, even though he got a lot of hate for it. It helped them a lot. Lou Will, Paul George, Doc Rivers is really all on you guys. So now let's go to the Bucks Heat series. I thought the Bucks would win by 6. I just thought the Bucks, especially Giannis, was too good. And I guess we could all were shocked at least to hear that the Heat, or saw that the Heat won easily in 5. Now, who do I contribute the Bucks losing to? I don't know. I would say I contributed to Jimmy Butler being absolutely amazing. Giannis obviously was hurt Game 4, Game 5, but the Heat weren't not losing that series after Game 3. They were up 3-0. People had the brooms out. It was over. I mean, the Heat just played outstanding, and you have to give a lot of credit to Goran Dragic. Goran Dragic was someone who, was a pretty good bench player for the Heat, but he's been playing like an all-star right now. My man's averaging 20 points per game. He's facilitating really nicely, getting at least 5 assists mostly per game. And yeah, he's been playing out of his mind. And if you could add a third, I guess you could say quote-unquote star to the Heat, they're going to be very dangerous because you obviously have Jimmy, you have Bam. And, putting Goran Dragic playing like, Suns Goran Dragic in that mix is a little scary for the rest of the East. Jimmy played outstandingly defensively and then putting that into the offense. He was also a great passer in the series. Bam Adebayo played amazing defensively. And they just found a way to stop Giannis. And that's what has been becoming a trend with these Bucks. The Bucks are going to need to find a way when in the playoffs, when you're focusing on just one player, you need your other players to step up, and they didn't do that. Middleton played great Game 4 when Giannis went out. But besides that, he wasn't playing that well. And I think that differentiates the Bucks from all these other teams is that if Giannis gets locked down, the Bucks really don't have someone to rely on. You could say Chris Middleton's that guy, but he's really not. Obviously, he's an all-star. I don't want to take credit from Chris Middleton, but I think the Bucks really want to be contenders. They need another guy that they could heavily rely on if Giannis is getting shut down. Giannis had his good games in that series, but, it wasn't great. The Heat found a way, just like the Raptors did last year, to shut down Giannis. And just like last year, when the other team had a star or 2 stars going off, the Bucks had no answer for it. And that's going to be a problem they need to figure out this summer, or else Giannis may leave. Also, I'd give credit to Tyler Herro, Duncan Robinson. The Heat team's very, very deep, but, Goran Dragic was definitely the X factor and definitely the reason why the Heat won that series. The last series we're talking about is the Celtics and Raptors series. So I thought the Raptors would win this in 7, and that was very close, obviously, as we all know that the Celtics won in 7. Who do I contribute this to? Jason Tatum played absolutely amazing. He looks like he's going to be one of the best players in the league very soon. When he gets to the rim, there's no one stopping him. He's just too long, too aggressive. He's just very, very good at basketball. I don't know what to say. I'm guessing it's the Kobe training, but, Tatum played absolutely amazing. And also, the thing is, because the Celtics actually have 3 solidified stars, obviously Goran Dragic is playing out of his mind right now, but, you could always count on Brown, Tatum, and Kemba. You really only need 2 of them to play well. Obviously, you'll rarely see all 3 of them play absolutely outstanding. But if you have 2 of them playing well, one of them playing or meh, you'll be fine. The Raptors, they just really couldn't hit a shot. I wouldn't even say it was the Celtics defense. The Raptors looked really cold, and Pascal Siakam just looked really terrible in the series. He made the All NBA second team, and he was a great player in the regular season, but, even in Orlando, he played fine. But against these Celtics, he couldn't hit a shot. He was just trying to keep going into the post, and it wasn't working. He was trying to spin, causing charges, missing shots that he shouldn't have shot. Tough shots, bad shots, not smart shots. And the rest of the team just really, really couldn't hit a shot. The Celtics, Marcus Smart's definitely going to be the X factor. If Marcus Smart could hit threes like he has been and could play the defense that he has been, the Celtics go very far. And Daniel Theis has been playing really, really well also. He played well against Gasol and Ibaka when they were at the 5. And, Theis, he's not the best shooter, but he could take a shot when he needs to. And I think the Celtics are a very dangerous team to the Heat. So I think, the reason why the Celtics won this series was definitely the four stars, I guess you could say, the Celtics. Two or three of them play well. It's pretty much wraps. And Siakam really, really choked. Was just trying to get into the paint too much, taking really bad shots. And yeah, I guess you could even say the Celtics outcoached the Raptors. I guess I could quickly talk about both these series. The Lakers, I kind of see them walking through the Nuggets. I just think the Nuggets, they've been through a lot. 2 Game 7s, 2-3-1 comes back. The Lakers have been rested up for a while. LeBron and Anthony Davis are hungry for that championship. And I just don't think the Nuggets match up well. The Lakers have two great defensive centers to put up against Jokic, and no one to guard LeBron or AD. And if you're putting Jokic on AD, that's going to be wraps. The Heat and Celtics, it's going to be a good series because they're both similar teams and they both have very good depth and very good, they love to spread the wealth. The Heat, like I said, have Harrow, Robinson, Dragic, Adebayo, Butler, and the Celtics have Smart, Hayward, Tatum, even I said Hayward because also Hayward's probably going to be back this series. Hayward, Tatum, Brown, Walker, and Smart. So it's going to be a battle between these two. I probably think I'll just give my prediction since I wasn't able to because I didn't think these teams would make it. I'm going to say Celtics in 7. I just think it's going to be a pretty much bloodbath. It's going to go at each other back and forth, but I think the Celtics have too much star power, I would say, and the Lakers, I see them winning in 5. And sadly, even though I hate both these franchises just because how much they succeed and how much pain they've caused me, Knicks fans, I see this as my finals. And if this is my finals, if this is the finals, I will give my prediction on that, but I won't do that next. I guess I'll leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger, and you guys could see in my Eastern Conference/Western Conference analysis predictions who I think will win the NBA championship of the bubble. So, I know that was a lot, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just trying to give my analysis on these second round. A lot of unexpected winners, a lot of unexpected losers, a lot of unexpected outcomes, to say the least. Was not expecting the Heat to win in 5 games. Was not expecting the Celtics to beat the Raptors, and was definitely not expecting the Clippers to blow a 3-1 lead. I guess it's really just the curse. So yeah, guys, that's it. Maybe I'll post a quiz. But I've been getting a lot of videos out there of the NFL and NBA now that they're both back in swing. Obviously, the NBA is going to be ending soon, which is sad. But now that they're both back, a lot to talk about on both sides. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. Expect probably an NFL video maybe soon, or another NBA Eastern Conference, Western Conference Finals analysis, or maybe a fun quiz or something like that. So yeah, I know I said bye a few times now, but this is really it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you guys did enjoy this video. I'll be posting weekly like I always do, and I will see you guys in the next video, episode number 43. Bye, guys.